You know, if you think everything through...
Could we be missing other suspects? Malus didn't know...
Malus has always been very reliable. The suspect is knowledgeable about the... Even if I don't want to believe it, I'm starting to see how things could all
Well, we still have another trump card on top of all the theorizing and spec...
Yes. Malus did say that we need far more solid...
Navia, here you are. Oh, I've been looking...
Huh? Aren't you the...
Yeah. News came from Erenie.
Wasn't that place built specifically for...
I know. But they said the person they're putting on trial is a Fatui harbinger called
What? Is that...
Yeah, we know...
Well, he's been accused of being the true...
Wait, how?
That's what I thought was strange about it. If the charge against him stands, then it'll be...
Right. Because...
Yeah. And it...
Huh? Split up? What do you mean? Since this is... You're right. I won't have any chance of making that charge stick, though, unless we find more evidence.
We'll help you, just like...
Demoiselle, please allow us to accompany you.
I'm ready.
Malus, Silver, when did you...
We heard that you'll be... It's our hope that...
See you then! Now that Navia has set out for Erenius, we should also get going. The location has already been marked on the map, so let's head over. Huh. Let's go and try to find the entrance. So this is the entrance that leads to the synth production base. Ah, you're right. Navia's probably arguing up a...
It would appear that I must repeat. Do you accept the charge that you are the...
To be perfectly honest, I don't understand your country's complicated court system, or the reason why... However, I did hear that people who... In which case, as long as I accept the charge, I've got to admit, that's one of... When I privately sparred with her last time, she was obviously holding back.
Hey! Don't you understand? Your
Oh? Sounds like the Hydro Archon one. Then why don't you duel me too?
Alas, it would appear that communication with... In that case, let me explain everything.
That case had nothing to... Huh? What's going on?
Why is she in...
I told you it couldn't be one of the Fatui.
Miss Navia, this is the second time you've... But that was an exception rather than standard.
Oh, please. We can put that discussion aside for now. And if my charges prove true, then Tartaglia...
Oh, a young lady... So, Your Honor, is there nothing else for me?
You may take a seat for now in the audience, but that doesn't mean the suspicions against you have been lifted. Now then, Miss...
That person... Marcel, the head of Confrérie of Cabrières! Huh? What confrérie?
I've heard of them, but...
Oh, is this going to be a friends to enemies type situation?
Please let me remind you, Miss... And if the charge fails,
Yes.
In that case, I declare the charge to be valid. Members of the guards, please... Mr. Marcel, you will not require an...
Apologies, sir. I think an attorney won't be necessary.
Very well. In that...
I would like to take everyone back to 3 years ago. Only through elucidating what really
Navia, do you... Come on. Why would I do that? If that's enough to make me a suspect...
Exactly correct, Your Honor. I must...
I see. In which case, I will recount the findings about that case as originally recorded by Maison Gardiennage. On the day of the murder, Spina di Rosula hosted a large banquet in a countryside estate owned by the Confrérie of Cabrières. During the banquet, when the guests arrived at the scene, they found the primary suspect callous. The guards' investigation did not recover any other firearms from the scene. The suspect did not dispute this conclusion, and also declined to defend himself. Callous was defeated by champion duelist. These are the known
The one with the motive to... in truth, the third after that, the Thank you for... However, we should revisit the case now that we've gained new information. A pile of... But now, since it was... The testimony... However, in the end, he... Unfortunately... This assassin... Realizing this, the true culprit caused the hired assassin to dissolve in...
So that's what happened. Wait, you're telling me something as dangerous as water from the...
What a great theory. It also explains
Mr. Marcel, you are the one being charged with the...
but I think I agree with everything now.
Then, may I ask some questions? 1. Do you have...
I'm afraid not. I may not have the evidence with me, but I know where I could go to... We should be able to find... Considering the serial disappearances case, the guards...
That makes sense to me.
Why do I feel like...
Maybe she's scared of Alternatively, she's become more diligent.
My second question has to do with the ensuing duel. If the truth is, then why didn't Mr. Callous explain himself in court? If he had
I've thought about this too. And the answer, the dissolving power of water from the primordial sea, is an important... My father could have exposed it for all to see, but at that time, Spina di Rosula was in dire straits, and what was certain, however, was that it would paint a
Boss once told me that Demoiselle had already been selected.
What?
If the secret had gotten out, the culprit would have fought an all-out war with Espina right there, and of course, the guards might eventually figure out the truth of the matter, but what good would that do? Had this opera house ever given my father any kind of confidence? But by staying silent, we retained the ability to deter... I was able to become Spina di Rosula's president, and once I have figured out the truth and stepped up to the challenge, I will...
So, you mean to say...
That's right.
Do you have any...
Of course. All you need is to I don't need your apology, your guilt, but since he entrusted his will to you...
so...
Yes, as a champion duelist, I've fought many battles, and taken a countless number of dishonor in my line of work. I've seen just one look and I can tell if a duelist is hoping to... I hereby swear on my name and honor as a champion duelist that Mr. Callous...
Since that's your testimony, I have no more questions.
I concur. However, Miss Navia, you still have not explained the link between your father...
Right? What she said was fascinating.
Wait, weren't they just talking about the serial...
Of course, Your Honor. The two cases are connected. In my father's case, the culprit intended to kill both Jacques, and at the end of Linny's trial, the culprit also only dissolved the victim in front of everyone because they realized the culprit could only time their actions so precisely. Coincidentally,
So that's why you suspected me. I'm used to it, though. You've always been in...
No need to appeal to...
I won't try to refute your points one by one. On top of that, does a person have to be physically present to control the time?
Know what she can say to that?
I know that even with that, you might still think you... Alas, Who won't feel at least a little hurt by... But if I were to dismiss this completely, you'd also think I'm not being considerate of your feelings. Do you know what the biggest flaw in your reason?
I suppose you're gonna tell me.
It's timing. I'm a businessman by trade. From that, in addition, I left my home in Snezhnaya when I was young to come to Poisson and work in some trade. My business... But the disappearances began before...
I do apologize, Demoiselle.
No.
Is there anything else you'd like? You can also take a look at my border entry records, or ask, could those records and testimonies do something to appease the unspeakable anguish in your heart?